Hello, this video was going to show you how to use your GitHub repository to store your co-laboratory notebooks and the PDF files created from Overleaf. So we'll start here after we log into GitHub. We're going to go up to the plus sign and choose New Repository. You can give it a name you'd like. In this case, for this example, I'll just put Fall 2020. You can give it a description if you'd like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose Add a README file. Create repository. Okay, now we have our empty repository. What we want to notice first here is we have this little pencil. We can click on that to update this file, and this will have our usual markdown. And so we can put in here our notes. We come down here and then we can hit commit changes. You can put information here if you'd like to leave a comment to yourself. We'll hit commit, and there we have the notes added to that. Let's click here, back up to the name of our repository, and that's going to take us to our main folder. We're going to choose add file, and we're going to be able to upload files. If we choose upload files, we now have a drag and drop Dropbox style environment where we can choose from there, or we can use choose files and pick from the selector. Let's see how we can do that with Colaboratory. So here we have Google's Colaboratory, and this is a very nice Python environment that allows you to run code in the cloud. We'll choose connect up here. It's going to connect the notebook, and now we're going to be able to run this one cell at a time. We'll notice that we have different cells here. Some cells are text, some are code. The ones that are shaded here are the code cells. We can run it by hitting the play button here, or by pressing shift and then return, and it will execute that cell. This has some information you should look over about how to make some example plots. We'll go over that in detail. For now, let's go to File, New, and choose New Notebook. We can go up here and Untitled, and we can give this a name. You can see it jumps around there. We'll do that again. Okay, there we go. Now we've named our notebook. This is the extension. It stands for IPython Notebook, which was an earlier version of the technology, the open source technology behind Colab. You do not need the Pro Edition. If you're interested in research, that's available for $10 a month, but you're not going to need it for this work. You'll be able to get a free access to the GPU. That's what's really exciting about this technology. So we're going to go to the Edit menu. So we'll see we have another menus up here. We're going to go to Edit Notebook Settings. And here we see Hardware Accelerator. This is the big opportunity. It allows us to choose the graphics processing unit. So we'll discuss in detail how that works. So let's just choose Save for now. We can also use additional RAM if needed. Okay, now we come up here and we're going to hit Connect. And there we have the green check showing us our active notebook. We can add in code blocks here. Now each one will be able to run the Python instructions separately. We can also add in text blocks. Then we press Shift Enter. That will put that in as text. And then if we want, we can move this up and down with the arrows. There's a lot of different commands you can explore about adding links, and if you look in here about standard formatting options. Now this is Python, so it's going to start by just being a simple calculator. We can do simple things like that, but then we can do things like if we want to do exponents, we do double star, and so we can do things like maybe that, which is not something that a regular calculator can do. Okay, so now that we have a simple notebook, what we want to do is we're going to want to save that as download this. So we're going to do download IPython notebook is one of our options. So go ahead and download that. That's going to be saved onto our computer. It's saved into the cloud all the time. Another thing that we can do is we can go to File, we can choose Save a Copy in GitHub. It's going to wait for the authorization, and as long as we're logged into the GitHub in another window, it's now going to give me a choice of what repository I want to store this in. So let's go here and choose the one we just created. And it's going to put it in the master branch, which is good. And then we're going to have here our file name, and then we can put in a comment. Click OK. Now we've created a copy. Now if we have it here, it says open in Colab. That's a nice link for us if we want to run it and change it again. Or if we go back here, we can click, and now we can see it's listed in our repository that we created. This is our IPython notebook file. Let's click on that again, and it's nice. That will render us our notebook. Okay, so that's how we're going to put our collaboratory notebooks onto our GitHub. Let's jump over now to Overleaf. If you've never used Overleaf, it's a very nice technology, very powerful, and this is has a little bit of a learning curve, but once you learn how to use it, it's really nice to use. So we're going to choose a new project up here. Let's just choose a blank project now to start. We'll choose Create, give it a title. Okay, and the way this works is it's a lot like programming in a coding language. Here we have 3 panels. We have our main panel here with our LaTeX source code. So this TEX language, LaTeX, is what's called a markdown language, and it allows us to specify things in sort of a programmatic fashion, things like the title, the author, the date, and then we can say begin the document, make that title using this information, and then we can have an introduction, and then we can add some text in there. And now if we hit recompile over here on the right, that's going to create a PDF file. And so this is like a programming language for creating documents, and now we've created a new PDF file. So if we go to, this is also will save as often as you can, basically as you can type in the cloud, but we also have some other options here, like putting on to GitHub. It will ask us if we want to create a repository. We want to use the one we already have, so we can just choose PDF, and that will download this. That's now went into my downloads folder. So now let's go back to our GitHub page, and now we have, let's go back here just so we remember how we got there. We were at our repository that we just created. Now we have an Add File button. We're going to choose Add File, and now we're going to choose Upload Files. And now we can either drag and drop, or we can now we can add some comments, and we're going to choose Commit Changes. Okay, there now we have a PDF on our repository in our folder. If we click that, it will render this here. So that's our demonstration of how to use GitHub to host our collaboratory notebooks, as well as the PDFs we create with Overleaf. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.